today's video, I'm going to show you two essential ways to use the brand new plugin called Percussion Factory from UVI to generate endless grooves and percussion ideas for your productions. So for this example, I'm going to start with this sparse beat that I put together using the Element sample pack. Now that we have opened up Percussion Factory again, we're in a broken game preset, which is one of the heavy presets, and it sounds like this. First one I'm going to do is, because I'm in double time here, I'm going to take this and make it 75. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit Generate New Preset. If you didn't see, this actually generates the title and everything for you. So I'm just going to click it a couple times until we find something that sort of works. So I like where we're going with this, but I'm going to mute some of the ones that are more low end. Now I'm going to hop over to the master effects and I'm just going to cut out the low end. Draw in the MIDI on the C4 so it plays the loop, and let's play it together with the beat. Something that you definitely want to utilize in this is the reverbs. One of the ones that I keep going back to is the industrial reverb. And now, all of a sudden, we have a nice topper to our beat. And I mean, if we want to go crazy from here, we can go into the effects tab of UVI Workstation. Maybe add the really wide preset. And just for fun, we threw some more loops from the free Element pack, which you can get at the link in the description. Generate a new preset. And another one just for fun. For this example, I'm going to show you how I took this preset and built it into this track. Think of these as a before and after. So this one is the Last of Us preset, which you can find in the heavy section. And you can kind of tell that this is one that's meant for a faster BPM than 85. But I like the way that the drums sounded. So the first thing I did again was take a look at the deeper sounding drums. And I swapped them out for something that was going to sit better in the mix with my kick drum when I added it. And when we jump into the edit section, you can see with the preset, all 16 bars are playing. But when I get over into my rendition of it, most of them are cut off at 8. And then I also have this one here that's set at 10, which is basically going to give you variation, meaning that when the first full bar ends, this still hasn't made its way through. The idea that I had when I was building this track is I wanted to have that 4 on the floor kick drum sound and that car truck commercial vibe. So I switched out these ocean drums and brought in the kick. I got rid of this rattle scratch here, and that's where I added the snare in. I also didn't think that the congas fit the vibe, so I opted to switch out for the ocean drums. And if you want to change the sounds, all you have to do is click here, and it gives you up the categories for shaken, hand drum, metal. So let's play that one with the shaker together, and I'll swap out some of these just so you have a different idea of how they sound. You'll see I actually didn't change any of the effects, but the one thing that I did do was tweak the sends. So if you go into the individual sound, let's go to the snare here that I added, and you go over to effects, you have the ability to adjust the individual effect sends for each and every sound. Just to give you an idea of how much the effect sends are actually doing in this, I'm going to turn the reverb and the delay off. Now let's turn them back on. So you can really see how much simple effect sends do for a beat. Remember how key the generate functions are here though? So if you look on the right hand side, you'll see suggest sequence, the magic wand here. So if we didn't like the sequence that was happening with this shaker here, you can just click it and it's going to generate a new one. It's also going to change things, like you can see that this one actually only runs for 12 bars, but let's play that and see how it sounds. And let's be real, that's not as good, right? And another difference that you'll notice here is that I have the multi-output setting, which means that I have these all routed to individual tracks in my DAW, because I just find it easier to mix them and pan them in there. But you do have the ability to do that all inside of the plugin too. You can see the pan knobs here. And of course in the effects tab, you can see the EQ there. But once I had that drum beat going, that's when I started to lay down the bass line. Which, as you can see, is another UVI product called Soulbass, which mixes synthetic and electric sounds together. And from there, I just went into Logic's stock pedal boards and played around with different ones that I wanted and ended up with the rock distortion. So without the distortion, it sounds like this. But let's be honest, that's not selling any trucks. Then I added a bunch of different one-shots from various Maschine expansion packs. Any of the reverb you hear is just from a bus that's running the Synth Hall preset from Reverbs, which is a Logic stock reverb. And this track is still in progress, but because I wanted something to build for the intro, I decided to toy around with some of the automation here. I have the decimate, the intensity, and the dynamics, as well as some of the volume being automated from Percussion Factory. If we go back to the main tab, you're going to see all these down here. The dynamic automation that you see here is coming from the kick drum because I didn't want it to have the full punch right from the get-go until the beat drops. The decimate knob is actually interesting because what it does is it actually reduces the amount of strikes a part of the sequence. When it's set to 100%, it sounds really choppy. You can tell that the sequence is chopped up. Now we get the full pattern. Now this track's still in progress, but it at least gives me the ideas for building that dynamic build up into the main part of the beat. I think it's really important to note here too that one of the most important things for me personally for a plugin is having instant inspiration with the ability to then go and tweak it and customize it afterwards. And both of those ideas came to me within 20 minutes. And this is the first time that I've actually sat down with the intention of making one of those car commercial style of tracks with that 4 on the floor and the dirty bass line, and it came out pretty quickly for me. So this is a tool that I'm going to continue to use this year because a lot of the sync licensing stuff that you hear is very, very percussion driven, including just purely percussion tracks as well. I've written a few in the past. Now that I have this, I'm just going to be finding grooves and rhythms that I never would have come up with on my own probably. I also want to give a shout out to UVI here. This is not a paid sponsorship whatsoever. I did get this product for free, which I am extremely grateful for because I love this thing, but I'm not obligated to say anything good about it. But if you do want to check out this plugin, make sure to grab it right now while it's on sale still during the intro sale. And you can do that at the link in the description. It's an affiliate link and it helps support the channel. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter so I can share more tips with you. Thank you for watching. Thanks again to UVI, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.